And now, here's the final segment of our FX-973 Eye on Hakko series. Let's take a look at how the Hakko control software brings it all together. As always, here's Kenta.
Okay, so we talked about the system parameters and how to change certain things, access certain menus within the system parameters by using the station only. Now I would like to show everyone how easy all of that is by using our Hakko control software, okay? The software is totally free. You can go to the product page of the FX-973 and you'll be able to download the most recent software that'll be available with the release of the FX-973. So make sure you go to the product page of the FX-973 and download the software for the FX-973, all right? So once you got that downloaded onto your PC or tablet, connect your station to your computer, right? Make sure you turn the station on first. And then go to your computer, open up the Hakko control software for the FX-973. You'll see this menu window pop up. Select the proper application or the station. In my case today, it's the FX-973. Hit start. And this is what the window of the Hakko control software for the FX-973 will look like, okay? Now I'm gonna go over different things within the Hakko control software, so let's get right into it. Up at the very top, ID, that's the station ID that I've input into the Hakko control software so that every time I connect this particular station that it's gonna notice the ID that I input in there. I put in FX-973-0001 just as an example, all right? And you can put different IDs based on probably like the part number that's going to be labeled on the bottom of each station. You could use that as a station ID for every station, all right? And then down below you have channel 1, your set temperature, your offset temperature, your current sensor temperatures, your handpieces that are connected, whether that channel is active or not. Down here below you have your presets, channel 1, presets 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And down here below you have your temperature icon, your offset change icon, your system parameters, and your AutoCal. And on the very right hand side you have the temperature graph. All right, let me first concentrate on the left hand side of the screen here, okay? Like I said, these are your channel 1, channel 2, and channel 3 conditions or statuses. They're all running currently. These are your set temperatures for channel 1, channel 2, and channel 3. For channel 2 and channel 3, I'm using preset number 4. These are the offset values for each channel. Offset, I have 27 degrees in channel 1, 0 in channel 2, and a minus 12 offset in channel 3. And these are my current sensor temperatures on each channel. 660, 661, 800 for channel 2, and 750 for channel 3. And that is the actual temperature graph that you're seeing on the right-hand side of the Hakko control software window, that temperature graph that you're seeing here, right? And then again, down below, these are the icons for which handpiece you have currently connected or attached to each channel. Channel 1, I have the desolder tool. Channel 2, I have the medium or the standard soldering iron. And on channel 3, I have the small or the micro soldering iron, right? And each channel, it's active on, and on, meaning that all channels are active. And these are the presets. Channel 1, presets 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I click on channel 2. Presets 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And channel 3, presets 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This 750 in the white just is showing me, or showing the operator, which preset I am currently set on. Preset number 4, preset number 4, okay? So, now going down to the icons down here below, if I click that, hover over that, it says temp change. So what do you think I can do here? I click on that, another window pops up, temp change. On this window, I can obviously change the temperature, right? Channel 2 is set to 800. I can use this bar and bring it all the way down to 600, for example. Set to 600, hit confirm. Now you see that the set temperature went from 800 down to 600, Okay, so again, that was the temp setting icon where you can change your temperatures for each channel. Okay. Now the next button is the offset change. I click on that. You can input and change the offset value for each channel. Channel 1, channel 2, and channel 3. If you want to change and work on different channels, then you simply press this button here, the channel. So right now, this channel 2 and channel 3 are grayed out, but channel 1 is you have access to make changes to. If I click this channel button, you'll be able to select which channel that you wish to work on. It's like the edit bar, using the edit bar on the station itself, right? So if I want to make changes or put in a different offset for channel 2, I simply click on channel 2, hit close, and there you go. Channel 1 and channel 3 are now grayed out, and I am now working on channel 2. And at this point, you can take your measurement using the FG100B or FG101B and input the offset value that you wish. Okay, and after you're done, just hit confirm and the window will close out. This next button is called parameter settings. This is a very useful feature, one of the useful features when using the Hakko control software. I open it up and it gives you the whole list of what you have access to within the system parameters, right? I showed you a while ago how you can access the system parameters with the station only, not using the Hakko control software. Remember, I had to scroll through the different menus, temp setting, sleep timer on or off, sleep timers, the actual time, auto shut off on or on, and so on and so forth. By using the Hakko control software, you have access to all of that on one screen or one window, and it makes the setup of the stations a whole lot easier. Plus, you'll be able to duplicate different settings. Say if you have up to 3 or 10 FX-973s or stations that you're using, you can create a specific parameter setup. You can save that setup, right? Disconnect from one station, go over to the new station and duplicate the same exact setup over and over and over again. You don't have to go into each station and start messing around, pressing with the buttons anymore. You can just upload all those settings. It makes that setup time a lot faster and a lot easier, okay? So, again, let me show you real quick how that works. So right now I have a setting here. And a lot of times what I'll do is right when I start off using the station, what I will do is I'll go ahead and save the default settings. And I've already done that here, so let me show you how you do that. You push the save button, and then you just give it a name for whatever name you want to call it, right? So in my case, I have one right here. I saved the default settings. I named it default and I saved it. If you want to load that back up, you highlight it, open it up, and then now that default setting has now been loaded onto the Hakko control software. And at this point, what you want to do next is hit the confirm button. And now the Hakko control software has uploaded this current setting onto the station itself, all right? So remember, don't forget to confirm it, okay? Now, again, there's a lot of different things that you have access to and you can make changes to within the system parameters. Like I said, for example, the sleep menu, you can turn that on or off. The shut off menu, you can turn that on or off. You can change the activation time, default set to 30 minutes. You can change that to 45 up to 60 minutes, for example. The error alarms, you can turn each of those on or off. The same thing with the ready alarms. You can set a low temperature alarm. This is a useful feature. It's a password lockout feature. Right now, it's set to unlock, which means the operator or whoever's using the station, they have access to everything. Nothing is restricted or locked. Once you hit that bar, you have access to either a lock, a partial lock, or a fully lock. Fully locked just means you won't be able to mess with anything without inputting the password, right? A partial lock will allow you to go in and give you access to certain things. For example, if you only want to give the operator access to changing the offset, for example, you would go ahead and leave this unlocked and lock the access to the presets and lock the access to temperature changes, for example. All right, that's one way to use partial lock. Or if you want to just give them access to offset, making change to offset and preset selections, you keep this unlocked and temperature set locked. All right, but once you want to use the partial or the lock feature for the password lockout feature, you want to make sure you input some kind of password here, right? So real simple, AA, just to help me remember, right? And then you just hit confirm, right? But in my case, what I've done already is I've created one and I've named it partial lock. I open it up, and again, now that what that's going to do is upload that information onto the Hakko control software itself. And from here, what do I do now? Remember to just hit confirm. And with that, the Hakko control software has now uploaded all of that information onto the station itself. So now you can see, if you take a look at the display of the station, right, you can see that there is this icon. It's like a lock icon on the very top right hand corner of the display of the FX-973. That means we are now in lock mode, to be more specific, partial lock mode. So in partial lock mode, I gave it access to change the offset, preset selection, but no access to changing the set temperature, right? So let's go ahead and confirm that on the station, right? So go to, say, channel 2. If I want to change the temperature, which I should be restricted to changing, I hit the temp button. There it is. It's going to ask me to input a password. And at this point, I could input the password if I know it. I can't make the changes to the temperature, right? So I go back. But in this partial lockout mode that I just created, I do have access to offsets and preset selection. So let's make sure that channel 2, I press the preset, and there you go. I do have access to make changes or select different presets, right? So I hit enter, and I can change or make adjustments to the preset selection that way. I also should have access to my offset. So let's make sure of that. I press the offset button, and there you go. I can still have access to entering a offset value, all right? So again, that's how you would, that's a useful feature a lot of our customers use, is our password lockout feature, and use that partial lock to give the operators access to only certain things, right? It's a way to have good process control, okay? On the right-hand side of the system parameters, that's where you can have your set temperatures. Down here below in the middle section, these are your preset 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Each of your preset temperatures you can change for each channel. And down below is your preset 1, 2, 3, and 4, 3, 4, and 5. You can turn on or off each of your presets in each channel. Again, like I explained earlier, you can do all of this just within the station itself, but by using the Hakko control software, it makes that process a whole lot easier. And to me, it's a lot faster and easier because I can see everything all on one page or one window, okay? And like I said, if you want to save this particular setup, you just hit the save button, give it a name, for example, that partial lock that I just created, right? And then you save it, and then if you want to duplicate that same setting from one station, say you have 5 other stations that you want to create the same settings to, you disconnect from one station, connect to the other one, and then you go in here, you do load that same system, that parameter up, and then just hit confirm. And then you do that, repeat that process for the 5 or 6 or however many stations that you have on your workbench, all right? So that's the other real benefit to using the Hakko control software. It makes that setup time a whole lot easier and a whole lot faster. Okay, so that was that icon right here, the system parameters or parameter settings as we call it. Now this other button all the way to the right, it's called Auto Cal. This has to do with the offset feature that I showed you guys earlier. But what you can do when using the Hakko control software is that the computer will automatically save that information for you onto your computer as in a format of like a CSV file. And you can take those measurements in each channel, obviously. I can go ahead and show you, for example, on channel 2, what that will look like. Channel 2, Auto Cal, it says set conditions if required and start. So it gives you sort of like a mini set of instructions here. It tells me to start here and go to there. So I'm going to start here, click that, and this is where you can initially set up your conditions. You can set your temperature range. This is like your plus or minus range that you will allow, allowable tolerance for your temperature settings, right? Right now I have it set to plus or minus 18 degrees Fahrenheit. Number of retries is 3. Right now I'm just doing the tip temperature only, so I have the tip to ground measurement off, and then the ohm potential is set to off, and then data recognition is IR, right? I hit confirm, and then now I hit the start. Okay, now it says after measuring temperature, send it by infrared transmission. Remember, I'm working on channel 2, okay? So I'm gonna grab my iron on channel 2, turn my FG100B on, turn the auto function on my thermometer, and I'm gonna measure my tip temperature on channel 2. Again, I'm gonna wait for that measurement to stabilize, and I'll know that once the auto stops flashing or blinking. And then you can see set temperature 740 degrees, measure temperature 747, okay? Now when I send this information, watch what it will say on the Hakko control software. I'm gonna send that same way we did the offset, pass. All right, you see that it says pass, because why? 747 obviously is within that window, or plus or minus 18 degrees of what we initially set here, okay? Now if it was outside of that range, you'll get a message here that says there's gonna be an offset that's being input, please measure again, okay? So once you're done doing the recording, just hit stop, close out the window, and now I'll show you what that data will look like once it saves automatically onto your computer. You want to go into your C drive. There's going to be a folder that says Program Files 86, and then Hakko Control Software FX-973. And then what we just did now is the Auto Cal results. Open that up. This is today's date that we just did. And then you'll see different measurements. And this is how the data gets logged, right? You see the station ID. This is the station that I took the measurement on. Channel 1, which channel that you took the measurement on. What handpiece was attached to each channel. The date and time. Your set temperatures. If there was any kind of offset that was being input. And then your set temperature and your temperature after and your end results, right? And then if you were using the FG101B, you also get to measure and record potentials or tip to ground values as well, right? So this is how all of the measurements gets recorded automatically onto a CSV file. For anyone verifying tip measurements on a daily basis, a lot of our customers take these measurements at the beginning of a shift and at the end of a shift. But how they're doing it now is they're taking the measurement, they may be entering the offset, doing the calculation in their head, and then taking that calculation and then entering that information manually into the station itself. and writing all that information down onto a piece of paper, and from there, afterwards, having to enter in all that written information onto a computer. By using the Hakko control software, that eliminates all of that entire process. You connect your station to your computer, use the Hakko control software, do the auto cal, the offset function, do the same process, and it'll automatically save all of that information for you onto your computer. I think it's a really, really useful tool, especially for those that are recording the temperature verification data. All right, so that was that auto cal button here. And then the temperature graph here on the right hand side of your screen, that's just showing you the actual sensor temperatures. And then you can do either auto save or start to record. Choose when you want to start to record and choose when you want to stop record. Okay, so I've already took some data points for this one, and I'll go ahead and show you what that looks like. Again, it's gonna be within the program files, Hakko control software, and this one's called temperature because it's the temperature data. I open that one up, and then you can see for each channel you can record that information. If I want to take a look at channel 2 temperature data recordings, open that up, and then this is what it'll look like. You have the station ID, channel 2, the handpiece that was attached, the date and time, the temperature units is in Fahrenheit, and this is the time. Every 0.175 seconds, it's recording the temperature. So 740 degrees was the temperature that it was recording all the way up to until I changed the temperature from 740. Looks like until I changed the temperature from 740 to 850. So at that point, it changed the temperature, and it was steady temperature of 850 degrees until I decided to stop the recording. Okay, so this is what your temperature recording data looks like. You use the start record, stop record. Okay, now there's another way you can record the temperature data, and that's if you have this auto save checked off, right? So what that does is every time you have the Hakko control software up, you have the station turned on. If you have this auto save with the check mark on it, then the system or the software is going to automatically will be recording your tip temperature data, right? So there's no need to press start or press stop. That's what the autosave checkbox is for, okay? So the system parameters, I told everyone that you can save the different parameters. You'll find that here under this folder called parameters. You open that up, and then this is where you can also find the various parameters that you may have saved in the past. Like right now here this is where I can find my default, and this is where I can find my the one that says partial lock, the parameter that I made for partial lock, right? Up here, this window, if you click on the channel 1, 2, and 3, if you click on that window, you'll be able to select different colors. For example, right now, channel 1 is green, channel 2 is like this orange color, channel 3 is like this purplish violet color. I could change the colors. If I want to change channel 3 to this light blue, I hit that, close, and the graph, the temperature graph, and also the channel representation, I can change the color that way, right? So this is just another useful feature that you can use. For some people, different colors are more visible than the other ones. So you have a selection, a variety of colors that you can choose from for each channel, and that will be represented also on the temperature graph on the right-hand side of your screen. So that's the Hakko control software. Again, a very useful tool. You can do everything with the station itself on the FX-973, but by using the Hakko control software, you get additional benefits such as being able to access the system parameters all on one page. You can save and upload different parameter settings, right? And also you can use the auto cal feature to use the offset feature. And by using the Hakko control software, you can record all that information automatically, and it'll save that information automatically onto your computer for you. So there's no more need to be writing down all of that information and then entering that information again into your computer. If you use the Hakko control software, all that information will be saved automatically onto your computer as in the CSV format. Okay. And once you're done, you can just close out the window and hit exit and turn off the station when you're done. All right, so that was a lot of information that we just went over for the FX-973 Hakko control software. It's a lot of information, but at the same time, it's a lot of useful information that a lot of our customers are using now to record, measure tip temperature data, measure and record offset values, and even make quick system parameter setups and changes. So once you get more familiar with the Hakko control software, you'll find that it's a very, very useful tool for you to use within your facility. So that's the reason why I wanted to go over the Hakko control software in detail. All right. So now if you have any additional questions about the FX-973, the station itself, or about the Hakko control software or the FX-973, you can always come back and reach back out to us. If you want to speak someone directly over the phone, the number here is 1-800-88-HAKKO. Or if you prefer by email, you can email us at support@hakkousa.com. All right. Again, thank you guys for viewing these Ion Hakko videos. Thank you guys for viewing to the very end of this video. These Ion Hakko videos will not be possible without you guys. So always thank you very much. Now I'm hoping to do another one next month to close out the year. What will that product be? What will I cover? Stay tuned to find out. Always keep your eye on Hakko, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye.